Hi there, welcome to the study for another episode of Dave's Desk. Today we've gone to Jesus' encounter with the chief tax collector of Jericho, a man by the name of Zacchaeus. And this is one of the most well-known encounters Jesus has, and it's interesting to reflect on why that is. Zacchaeus is not what we would immediately consider to be a particularly sympathetic character. He's the chief tax collector in a fairly significant metropolitan area. He's Jewish, but he works for the Romans, so in that sense he's a traitor. We can assume, because it was generally the way, and Zacchaeus kind of admits it himself, that he was a thief and a fraud, that he cheated people out of their money. But there was something else about Zacchaeus that we often forget, in that he wanted to meet, in fact he was desiring just to see Jesus. So although he's a traitor and a cheat and a fraudster, his heart is yearning for Jesus. He's got all the money he could ever need, but it's not enough. And so when he hears Jesus is travelling through Jericho, he makes straight for the parade route. And you'd think perhaps, because this is sadly how life often works, as we were talking about in the last video, that this is a rich guy, and that rich people generally get what they want. It's surprising that the crowd didn't sort of make room for him to get to the front and see. And the fact that they didn't is just an illustration of how hated this guy was, that they just completely blanked him, that they ignored him totally, would not let him through, to the point where he finds himself climbing up a sycamore tree in order to be able to see over their heads and to get a glimpse of Jesus. And Jesus walks up to the tree where Zacchaeus is. He looks up. I'm guessing the two of them make eye contact, and he says, "Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I want to stay at your house today." And I don't know how you imagine it is when Jesus is walking through a place. Is it like a parade, or is it a busy market street? How much are people noticing him? But it seems like there would have been a lot of attention focused on him at this point, and his choice to go to Zacchaeus' house is something that people notice, and they start muttering. And the way I read it from Luke, before they've even gone anywhere near Zacchaeus' house, Zacchaeus' encounter with Jesus has changed him. And so he turns to the crowd and says, "I'm going to give half of my money to the poor, and if I've cheated anyone, I'll give back 4 times the amount." The rationalist in me has always struggled with the maths of that. So I think if he's able to do that, then presumably actually a lot of the money he has, he's earned by less dishonest means. And Jesus rejoices, because this man too is a son of Abraham. This person who's been a traitor to the tribe, to the people of Abraham, has returned to them, has made the choice of being one of them again, because Jesus' whole mission at this point is to come to seek and to save the lost. He didn't need to seek and save those who are faithful. He didn't need to seek and save those who knew they were right. Jesus was coming for those who knew that they had made a mess of their lives. And it didn't matter how big a mess of their lives that they had made. What mattered was that they recognised it. And I think there's an encouragement there to us, that if we're feeling like we've made a big mess of things, if we feel like we've made bad choices that have led us to a bad place, it's not beyond Jesus' ability to heal. It's not beyond Jesus to want to come and be with us and have a relationship with us, no matter how far gone we are. Traitor and thief wasn't too far for Jesus to come and want a relationship with Zacchaeus. But also a reminder to us that we need to never think of ourselves as anything more than someone who needs that love of Jesus. We're not made perfect by our own hard work, but by that encounter with Jesus, that eye contact with Jesus, and that knowledge that he's come to seek us and save us because we're lost. As ever, thank you very much for joining us today. I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.